If you were to remove all ants from the world tomorrow, all of them were eradicated, the human species, every single form of life on Earth would end within 50 years. What does this mean? This means that if you remove one side of an argument, if you remove one side of education, if you remove one side of anything, everything will fall. Now, what is the world leading into right now? We see extremes everywhere. When you go on the news, the only thing that's being reported is extremes. When you go on YouTube, the only thing that you're being shown is the extremes. Giving away $500,000, giving away $1,000,000, giving away a house, whatever people do now. Jumping off a plane. Whatever people report on the news is extreme. Guy jumps off building. Homicide shooting in California. Club shooting in New York City. All these things happen, and the only things that get reported are those simply because they get views. Where else can you see this? You can see this in school. The top two subjects are math and sciences. There is a hierarchy of subjects that were taught in school, and most of the emphasis is placed on those two, which is biology, calculus, all those other stuff. And then what's at the bottom is music and arts and all that stuff. But what you don't take into account is how every single individual has invented something that has benefited the entire population. If we did not have art, we would not have any museums. If we did not have art, we would not have the Constitution today. Why? Because it fosters creativity. People think that the Constitution of America, that any laws, any principles, the things that we consider conservative, rules, that they were made from a solid structure. The way they're presented to you is in a solid structure, but the way they were thought of was through art, through creativity. Where's that creativity now? The school system we have today is designed to make it so that you follow and be productive. Productivity is enforced everywhere. Go here at this time, spend this much time here, get out, eat lunch, 60 minutes, back in class. You see this everywhere, work environment. But they made this for labor jobs. If the school system was made in 1920, today in 2020, this generation, we have the exact same school system. But do you want to know what's changed? We have had a technological revolution. We've went from earning with our bodies through labor and through farming and through, building new materials, to earning with our minds. We have coders now. Coders are the new farmers from the past. Before, if you held a simple labor job with bare minimum education, you could earn a decent living. You could survive on pretty much nothing. But now that we're being taught in school that these are the things you need to value, the things that were sought for during those labor-intensive times, that's what's being pushed onto us now. We're developing a generation of professors. I have something in my teeth, bro. We're developing a generation of professors. Professors stick to one way of thinking. They stick to, okay, these are the rules. The rules cannot be broken. Why is it that every single person who has invented something in history has broken the rules? Not just the rules, but a general script that is laid out for us. Think Elon Musk dropped out of college. He may have gone into a good college, sure, but that was because he worked hard in high school. Right? Think of Bill Gates. Bill Gates dropped out of college. Think of any single inventor, Albert Einstein. Think of Shakespeare. Any single person who has invented anything that involves a level of creativity, something that's new, that's introduced to the world. They dropped out of the system that was meant to keep them laborized, keep them productive, keep them hardworking. And of course, hardworking can be debated, They don't really measure up how much they work, but they do still work hard. They work on what they want to. But that's what it was. When we were kids, when we were 4 or 5, we went to school. We had a bunch of things we wanted to do. We wanted to go explore outside. We wanted to go mess with the teacher. We wanted to go jump on some kids. We wanted to do all this stuff. But then we're put into a society where there's rules. Don't get up, sit in your seat, and if you get up, I'm going to call your mom. Did we have this in the ancient tribes? The kids back then learnt through exploring. They learnt through watching their parents unstructured. They get to choose when they watch their parents, and generally they do it all the time. But now, how much time do they spend with their parents? Maybe 2, 3 hours a day, and even if their parents work a 9 to 5, it's even worse. The kids come home on a bus, they stay at home alone, and they're fed information through TV, through media, through every single thing that they have, every device. And now kids as young as 7 are getting phones to use Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube. And these single companies, I'm going to tie it back, they only show the extremes. If the kids are learning about the extremes only, and that what are the rules, they're going to be shown all the killings, they're going to be shown all the homicides, all the suicides, every single thing like that. What are they going to think about the earth? They're going to think the world is a bad place. They're going to think that they should be scared of everything. They need to stay safe. They need to follow the script that they're following. And that's the scariest part about it. We have a bunch of people who are too scared to invent, too scared to make any innovation. Because from every side they're being told, follow the rules. Follow this. Okay, here's when you work, here's the work you need to do, get it done. There's no more creativity anymore. I made a video a very long time ago called The Great Thinkers Did Nothing. It's true. They didn't just do nothing. They did something with a level of thought. Our thoughts right now are being replaced. We're being taught how to think. And that forms our basis for the rest of our life. So we're never going to venture outside of that. So I kind of went all over the place. So here's the idea. You should not be surrounding yourself in places where you might be being taught something based on someone else's motives. Whatever you've learned up to now, whatever you've consumed, whatever you've thought of, whatever you decide tomorrow or today or now, think. Why do I think this? Why do I act this way? Oh, I act this way because my parents treated me this way. I wanted to gain the respect. Why do I get sad when my grade drops a bit? Oh, because my parents always valued high grades. Why am I depressed that I can't do any work? Why am I depressed that I'm not doing all this work that I'm supposed to be doing? Because the people I surround myself with always do all that work. It's scary. Everything in your past that has led up to now has been narrated, has been scripted. And it starts with kids. It's a whole cycle. Everything you've been taught could be wrong, but it also could be right. You need to sit down and examine, what am I thinking? Why am I thinking this? And right now, I want you to ask yourself, what do I value in a job? That'll be one of the biggest questions you might answer. Do you value what you're doing right now because it pays a lot, or because you actually want to do it? Are you going to school because you know it's going to lay out a life plan for you, a safe plan for you? Or because you actually want to do it? Because if you ask any kid, and they might say this is bad for them, but if you ask any kid, almost 90 to 95% of them say they absolutely despise school. Even when they grow up, they say those were probably the worst times of their life. They're the most depressed and most anxious. They may have had good experiences, sure, but was it really worth it? Or are your good experiences just relative? I went all over the place, bro. It's very scary to know that little kids are being taught how to think. I see it with my sister. She watches TV and it's just like, the things they're projecting on there it's very one-sided. Recently with Elon Musk, you saw he revealed all the files of the Democrats paying to get their voice out more, and Twitter accepted only the Democrats pay, not the Republicans. So then they blocked every single story that went against the Democrats, and promoted Democrats. It's very scary. They can control narratives like that just so easily. Through one line of code, they can control what gets pushed out. So be aware before you get your thoughts. What do you believe and why? Because someone else told you? Because you truly want to believe it.